Yeah.
Yes, Angel, how key is, considering there was a time use survey, the very significance of, I mean, making use of time,
yeah,
and channeling the energy towards a positive contribution to the country. For example, job creation. That was one of the clarion calls of President Obama to the young people in Kenya when he was here in 2015, and rather shift the attention from the focus on white-collar jobs, which has a limited scope of, I mean, absorption when it comes to that market, and focus on productivity by making use of the time that is available.
First of all, I'd like to say that as a woman, I feel that I have been born in one of the best times of this country. I am a woman born 25 years after the Beijing Conference of 1995. I am a woman born after Kenya has allowed itself to have multi-party democracy. I am a woman born at a time when there is more freedom of expression, better than there was before. I'm a woman born at a time when there is free education. And these are things that I appreciate as a woman in my time. I'm a woman born at a time where there is technological infrastructure, Kenya ranking 3rd highest. Of course, these are very major political decisions that have been made over the years, and that has to be contributed and attributed to that. What I see today is that if our leadership does not see itself to a gear that allows the private sector to boom, the private sector to explode, is something that this government really needs to consider. When we see businesses being raked into behind lorries here in CBD, when we see higher taxation, an economist will tell you that these are very simple textbook strategies that you need to implement. Lower taxes, provide a conducive environment for businesses to thrive so that there can be more businesses. We cannot all get into government. We cannot all be politicians, but we need the private sector to boom. This issue in Kenya, where in government is where you make the most money, in government is where you become the richest, is not supposed to be the case. The private sector is where we should all be looking up to. The private sector is where we should all be saying that we want to work there and make more money and, amass the kind of wealth that we want or we desire. But this aspect of government being the one that is the best employer, that's where you make the most money, is supposed to be a question of the past. In developed countries, when you move from the private sector to government, you take almost an 80% pay cut. Here in government, Ayub, if you go into government, you become a billionaire overnight, and it's how we've made the environment to become. So when we are looking at our country, we need to look at it from all lenses. When Ruto was campaigning and he talked about his manifesto, he said the first thing he gets into office is to ensure that there is access to education. We will scrap out CBC. Of course, that has not happened. When you compare Ruto and his promises, when he talks about running the country the way Kibaki ran it, when Kibaki got into office, the first thing he did was to ensure there was free primary education. And 25 years from then, we are seeing so many, the fruits of free primary education. We are seeing more girls going to school than ever before. But now, when you look at the front page of the newspapers and you're seeing, like, education now has gone to the private sector, that is something that we need to wake up to as a country. Because one thing that we pride ourselves as a nation is our service force. Globally and even here in Kenya, one thing that we can contribute and one thing we can really celebrate is how much we contribute to the service workforce. So and that is brought up, that really comes alive through education. Our education system has really been able to push us to that level. But now when we see education becoming a luxury, that is something that we should not condone as a generation of this time.
All right.